moving right along, and we're going to talk about something which has become very near and dear to our heart, and we're going to bring some friends on board here, and we're going to talk about music, entertainment, and more as it pertains to, NFTs. And I'm going to invite, Michael Perrow, Travis Garett, and David Hibbard to join us in the next panel. And bear with me while I get out my trusty notes. Hey, Michael.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Not bad.
I know we've got Travis and Garrett here. We're just waiting for them to show up. Hey, Travis, how are you?
Doing well, David, and yourself?
I'm doing well. And David, always nice to see you. So I think, Michael, you're in Toronto.
Correct.
Travis, you're in Los Angeles.
Correct.
And David, you're in Austin, Texas. Are you on, David? You're on mute still. Just take you off there.
I am in Austin twice.
In Austin twice. Okay.
Yes.
Why twice? I won't ask yet. Let me introduce everybody first. So Michael Perrow brings over a decade of entertainment and design knowledge to Rare.store, one of the partners we've announced, as the co-founder. Driven by an obsession with design, entertainment, and technology, Michael co-founded Night Shift in 2020 to collaborate with global brands on innovative projects while simultaneously overseeing recording artists' careers. Travis Garett it's great to be working with Travis and David again. So it's amazing. We're working with Michael too, but this is like the band getting back together. And Travis, for those that have seen our Jeezy announcement, Travis has helped us put this together. Travis is an entrepreneur, founder in the music and technology space. Currently, he's the CMO and partner at Agency 99, a marketing and management company founded by the global artist and entrepreneur Jeezy, which we announced yesterday. And Travis focuses on new business opportunities in technology, entertainment, brands, and music. Prior to Agency 99, Travis co-founded CapThat, a full-service merchandise and e-commerce platform that was acquired by Music Today. Putting the last piece of the puzzle, but it's not the least, but the last piece of the puzzle to this wonderful panel together, David Hibbard. David Hibbard is a serial entrepreneur who founded CapThat in 2011, which was acquired in 2017 by Music Today. CapThat was a tech-driven company focused on the pulse of pop culture, bringing to life the ideas for most of the relevant music artists, athletes, celebrities, personalities, and influencers and brands. From vision to execution, CapThat owned each step, seamlessly introducing its partners' concepts to the world via e-commerce. So it's amazing to have you here because all of you, Michael's got a dual role here, but everybody here is involved in technology and music. So it's really amazing, and entertainment. It's amazing to have you guys here. And I just want to ask you, start off by asking you a few questions. We've seen yesterday, Travis, with our announcement of Jeezy, and it actually exploded. I don't know the numbers exactly, but there were thousands and thousands of likes to the fact that Jeezy's bringing out an NFT, and Carol will show that NFT in a moment. But what do you think, and I'm going to open it up for all three of you, but what do you think, starting with Travis, the opportunities for NFTs are, just aside from the digital NFT itself, what do you think some of the opportunities are for some of the artists like Jeezy?
We're always looking for new ways to connect with fans. Beyond just digital, there's a big physical element as well too. So with music, we used to bundle music albums with merchandise and set pieces, and that's kind of gone away for charting, but it was still very popular amongst the fans. So I feel like this kind of brings it back and gives it new life and a new reason to put some of these limited kind of edition items in there, as well as one-of-a-kind pieces that possibly someone wore on tour, or there was some kind of sentimental value, or was in a video. We're just touching the very tippy top right now with these digital elements that, his Snowman logo has been around for over 15 years and has a huge history with itself. So I think it really lends itself nicely to, the next iteration of it.
And that makes perfect sense. It does. It makes perfect sense. And so with the Jeezy element, what people are seeing here is the static image, but this will be dynamically animated, and it's a 3D image that we've worked on with our friends at Dreamview to make happen. And David, what's your thoughts on where the music industry and the entertainment industry is going with NFTs?
Well, I think the big part of this, which is exciting for artists, is it's going to reconnect them directly to their fans. It's going to give them the ability to release music. They don't have to go through the label. We all know how they feel about streaming. So this opens up a whole new world. Don Diablo did the first full stream concert through NFTs. So in that realm, you're talking, it adds value, and it adds, it makes the experience with the fan and the artist more intimate. Artists can tell stories now, not only through music, but they can add imagery. They can, do all kinds of things. They can tap into augmented reality to kind of enhance that experience. So from an experiential point of view, it expands what they can do with their fans. It drives more value. And I think, it's digital merch, and I don't like that term, but in a sense, we're already seeing, I'm talking to a ton of different artists that they're like, look, we want to give them something physical because that's just how we want to be as an artist. We want to be authentic, but we also want to be able to tap in and tell a story. And it's amazing how these artists talk, where they're like, you can't believe the footage we have. You can't believe the unreleased music. So in a sense, it's going to kind of deepen the relationship with fans. It's going to give them ability to create more value for themselves, which is great. And not to be so beholden to the labels and other distribution platforms and things like that. So I just think we're seeing just the tip. I think it's going to blow it open, and I think it's here to stay. But right now, we all know the market's speculative. We know that it's, nobody knows where it's going to land, but it's here to stay. So I think a lot of great stuff.
That's great. And before we get to Michael, I'm just going to mention that, we just talked with Philip about golden tickets. And so we can also do NFT drops inside a concert, or when a concert's beginning, for special meet and greets and other opportunities and awards and sort of the Courtney Cox moment where Bruce Springsteen brought her on stage and launched a career. And so there's lots of opportunities to, again, transcend the digital world and physical world, and even connect all kinds of different medium all at the same time. And I'm going to focus now and just move over to Michael for being an expert in the entertainment industry, but also being a co-founder of Rare.store and actively involved in the metaverse. Michael, what's your perspective on all of this? Oh, Michael, you're on mute.
Thanks. I agree with what the other guys were saying. I think it really allows the artist to monetize that relationship directly with the fan, which is exciting. I think, the artists out there providing utility and providing that experience really goes a long way. I thought the Don Diablo one was interesting. There was only one bidder there, and it went for about 1.3 million. And the previous bidder had no real bidding history. So you see people who are coming in and they're, going for the big ticket items. And then you see people who are trying to be in it for the long-term game and really add value to their fans. And I think those are going to be the guys and girls who win in the end of the day. I think access to Discord channels and private fan groups by holding the NFT is interesting. I think doing airdrops is cool. I think doing meet and greets at festivals to NFT holders could be enticing. Tickets, the whole resale of tickets in terms of scalpers, that's going to be quite interesting. You see some of the artists creating social tokens. You see some people gamifying it, like Blau's recent Melting Faces, where he was melting some of the NFTs or burning them. And then, like you said, I think the Decentraland or Metaverse concerts are going to be really exciting, and the wearables attached to that as well. And that's something that we're exploring deeply in terms of bridging that gap for an artist who wants to create an online experience, and then the actual metaverses who are hosting it. And so, I think it's just the tip of the iceberg, and it's how fans are going to, or creators are going to continually provide value to those holders through the experience, rather than that just splash in the pan, big sale type item. But that's how I kind of see some of the near future looking like.
And it also supports, the changing environment where, a lot of when I'm using the term album or CD or sales were very large, and that's how the industry made most of its money. And then it went to the concert situation. And now the concert situation, given the current environment, has been very challenging. So now NFTs open a new opportunity for artists and talent to share their experiences with their fans and create new revenue streams. So I think there's lots of opportunities. So I'm going to ask you, I know it for Travis, or I point that way, it's very easy. The big thing for you is what we're doing with Jeezy right now. But where do you see, if you could extend out beyond the Snowman? Yeah, and you mentioned a couple of things. What do you think's on the horizon for Jeezy and other artists should be looking at?
I mean, I think once you kind of make these building blocks where things are very easily trackable, I think that opens it up to different mediums where people will feel a little more comfortable with the music. A lot of these artists are sitting on drives and drives and drives of music and unreleased content, such as music videos that just didn't happen to make an album, and they probably won't fit on an album ever going forward because it was at a time period or whatever. Now, I believe this kind of brings it new again, where you could feel a little more comfortable releasing something now and bundling it up with something. So where it becomes that piece of time where if you release it now and try to make it new, it doesn't make sense. But if you actually own that piece back then and re-release it now through an NFT, I think that could be a really interesting lane for a lot of these guys.
That's amazing. And David, your comments on that?
Well, I work with a lot of different types of artists, from bands to rappers and what have you, and even estates, right? As you know, Michael touched on a lot of it. I think the ability to tell a story like what you're doing with May Pang on, adding value to an event, and all of those things are going to be interesting. I do think that Kings of Leon had a physical component when they did it with Yellowheart. I do think that, as the other gentleman called them, twins, I think that that's probably where it's going to land up. People, artists at the end of the day, and what's interesting, a lot of them are more than just musicians. They, I deal with one was worked on as a graphic illustrator for movies for many years, and his album art's amazing and things like that. So I will say this, it's so broad to go over, as we talk about so many different scenarios, but I will say this, what I love about it is it really opens up their ability to be creative, not only digitally, but in the physical world, complement it all around. And they can do, really the sky is their limit. I'm anxious to see where the collabs go, because I see the collabs are important and to drive value. The digital artist collabs, meeting up with a lot of, DJs and other artists. I think that is just amazing, because you're getting, visual talented artists coming in with the music's, part of it. So the real blessing here for everybody is it's gonna let them be artists and be creative in every way that they can. But it's going to, again, empower them through value. And that's what I like that this is going to go. So I just, I think we're going to see all kinds of stuff, but I also think they're going to be more artists and creators are going to be more motivated to do more amazing things, because they will now have the direct relation. So I think it's going to be infinite, really. And I'm excited to see where it goes.
Perfect. And Michael, I'm going to leave this with this last bit with you. And
yeah.
What are your thoughts on parting?
I think, what David was saying there was interesting, and something that I've been, and even Travis as well, in terms of repurposing content for NFTs that otherwise wouldn't go on like a DSP or Spotify or Apple. And, telling an artist that, hey, you must have a 4-minute track with a short intro with, 2 draw. And I think building that construct and the expectation from the get-go is inhibiting. And I think that an artist can release just a loop or a short song, and that should be able to be embraced and, consumed by their fans. And so the fact that artists are now able to take those hard drives of old songs or loops or beats or a short vocal chop, I think that's really interesting in terms of defining what an actual soundbite or song actually is, because a lot of people are creating music right now that does well on playlists, because Spotify is the main thing right now. And visual artists who have traditionally been posting their content for free on Instagram hoping that, somebody comes along and pays them for contract work, where they're making stuff that they're not really excited about. And so I think it's liberating in a lot of ways for musicians, for artists, for everyone. You guys talked about film makers earlier in the show, and like having multiple producers on things. And so I think it's quite exciting to see the different types of media that's going to come out in different types of formats.
I think that's great, because Michael, you and I have talked, and Travis and David, we're talked as well. I mean, we're looking at a project right now, literally in the UK, that is marrying house music with visual art, and we've got another party that we've just signed in the US, that again is doing visual art and music. So there's so much collaboration opportunities. Well, I really want to thank the three of you for being here. This was amazing, and I know that our teams are excited about what you guys will be bringing out next and what we can work on together. And it's wonderful to have such experts available to us at Oasis, and good friends as well. So I want to thank you again for coming out today, and really appreciate your time. And enjoy, and everyone look out, because we're going to be announcing some stuff with Rare. And we'll go from there. David, you had one thing?
I just want to say, you did not tell us that we could be giving people gifts, for one.
Okay.
So number two, I guess our gift will be an NFT of this presentation. So
there you go. Well, I didn't want to ask everybody too much at one time.
We're not cool enough. What am I going to get?
No. I like, with you, how many bands can you go and ask, right?
Yeah.
So there'll be,
Anyway,
there are some prizes. And again, we're going to invite everyone back. I mean, this is there's been half-day presentations, and we're already over time, and we're going to move one session in a moment. But at the end of the day, we want to have presentations, a general one today, and then we're going to, curtail it into different presentations. We'll be asking you guys back. So I want to thank you guys very much for being here, and really appreciate your time today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care. Bye for now.